The evening should have been simple. Taryn Vance, a retired human veteran, had finally agreed after months of pressure from his friends to try a blind date at the peaceful border town cafe. They said it would help him rejoin normal life. They said it would heal old wounds. But 20 minutes after the meeting time, Taryn sat alone at a table set for two, his metal arm resting quietly beside a cooling mug of herbal tea. Another failed attempt at socializing. He sighed and stood, leaving a polite tip before stepping out into the twilight streets. The air smelled of roasted grain and warm lantern oil. Children laughed somewhere in the alleys, and in the distance, a soft sob caught his attention. It wasn't human. It wasn't aggressive. It was heartbroken. Taryn turned toward the sound. At the edge of the marketplace behind an old stone well sat a dragon woman. Humanoid in shape but draconic in features, her crimson scales shimmered faintly under the lanterns. Her wings drooped behind her like wilted sails. And beside her, two young dragonling swins hugged her legs with worried eyes. She was crying quietly. Trembling, trying not to break down in front of her children, Tara paused. He knew that posture. He had seen it in survivors during the war. He had seen it in mirrors. Without thinking, he walked closer. "Ma'am, are you all right?" The dragon woman looked up sharply, startled that a human had approached. Her golden eyes were rimmed with tears. Her voice cracked. "Oh no. I'm so sorry, human, please. Please go about your evening. I don't want anyone to see me like this." Her children looked between her and Taryn anxiously. Taryn gently crouched down, lowering his height so she didn't feel threatened. Someone crying alone with two kids in the cold. That's not something I can just walk past. She tried to wipe her eyes. Her claws trembled. "My name is Sorelia," she whispered. I was supposed to meet someone here. A potential partner. It was arranged by family traditions. A blind date. Taryn understood immediately. She swallowed. He saw my children, and he left. He said I was too much of a burden. He didn't even speak to me. Her voice shattered on the last word. Dragon pride usually made them stoic. But right now, she was just a mother, trying not to collapse. Taryn's chest tightened. He recognized the mix of loneliness and shame. He'd lived with it for years. The little dragonling stared at him with wide amber eyes. "Are you going to leave too?" one asked. The question stabbed through him like a blade. Taryn shook his head softly. "No, I won't leave." The children blinked. Surprised at Sorelia covered her mouth. Overwhelmed. A quiet conversation, she tried to compose herself. "You shouldn't. Burden yourself with us, human. You must have someone waiting." Taryn gave a small, humorless smile. "My date didn't show." Her brow softened with unexpected sympathy. "I'm sorry. No need. I wasn't really expecting anything." A pause passed between them, gentle, strangely comfortable. The dragonlings peeked at his metal arm with innocent curiosity. Sorelia looked embarrassed. "They're curious about your prosthetic. They aren't being rude, just young." Taran flexed the metallic fingers and let it transform slightly. Both children gasped. "It moves like magic." The girl whispered, "Can you lift heavy things?" the boy asked. Tara nodded. "Some want to see?" He picked up a nearby crate of fruit with one hand. The children clapped excitedly. Sura watched with a soft smile growing across her face. "You're good with kids?" she murmured. Tora blinked. "I haven't been around children much. Maybe that's why," she said. "You treat them gently, patiently." He cleared his throat, feeling oddly warm. "You want me to walk you home?" "It's late and the streets are cold." Sorelia hesitated. "My home is in the Dragon District." "Are you comfortable going there?" "Some dragons still fear humans from the war." Taran shrugged lightly. "Fear goes both ways. But someone should make the first step." Sorelia's eyes softened again. "I would appreciate that." The walk home the Dragon District glowed with warm orange crystals embedded into the street pillars. Houses carved into stone cliffs towered above them, each decorated with runes and tapestries. Dragons of all ages glanced at Taran, some wary, some curious. But Sorelia stayed close to him, and her children walked on either side, Holding his fingers like he was already family, she pointed out shops, schools, and a bakery famous for spicy ember bread. Taryn listened, truly interested. Her voice grew lighter the longer they talked. "You're easy to speak with," Sorelia said quietly. "Most humans try to impress me, or fear me. I'm just someone who listens when people need it." She smiled, tired but real. The trouble in the alley as they neared her home. A group of rough-looking draconian males stepped out from a narrow alley. Their scales were dim and cracked, their eyes sharp with bitterness. Sorelia, their leader, sneered. "We saw what happened tonight. Your mate rejected you again? How many times is that now?" Sorelia stiffened, wings trembling slightly. "Leave us alone, Kadrin." "I don't want trouble." Kadrin's gaze drifted to Taryn, a human, walking a dragon woman home. And her children, too. Gods, how desperate are you? The children hid behind Sorel. Stepped forward, not aggressive, but solid. "She said she doesn't want trouble." "Respect it," Kadrin scoffed. "Stay out of dragon affairs, human. Or I'll break that metal arm of yours." Taryn didn't raise his voice. "You won't touch them." Something in his tone made the alley fall silent. Not threat, not fear, just absolute certainty. Kadrin's eyes narrowed, but before he could take another step, a deep growl echoed from above. A massive elder dragon perched on a roof glared down, eyes glowing. "Enough," he rumbled. "Sorelia is under the protection of the matriarch's decree. Touch her and answer to the court." Kadrin faltered, hissed in frustration, and backed away into the dark. Sorelia exhaled shakily. "Taryn, thank you," shook his head. "You didn't need me. The whole neighborhood has your back. Still," she whispered, "you stood with us." Home Sorelia's house was warm and filled with glowing blue crystals. The children ran inside, giggling and climbing onto cushions. Sorelia turned to him, nervous again now that they were alone. "You didn't have to come all this way." "I wanted to," Taryn replied. A soft silence settled between them. She looked down, claws twisting anxiously. "I'm sorry you saw me crying. I try to be strong for them. But tonight, I felt alone, abandoned, unworthy." "You're none of those things." Her eyes lifted gold, shining hopeful. "You really think so?" "I know so." Her throat tightened. "You missed your own date because of us." Taryn smiled faintly. "Maybe. This was the date I was meant to." Have Sorelia's breath hitched, her wings slowly folded closer. A dragon gesture of trust. "Would you like to stay for tea?" She whispered. "My children already adore you. And I'd like your company a little longer." Taryn rubbed the back of his neck. "I'd like that." She stepped closer, warmth radiating from her scales. "Then come in, human veteran," she said softly. "Let tonight begin again." For the first time in a long time, Taryn felt something blooming inside him, something gentle, something possible, something like the beginning of a family he never expected. And as the door closed behind them, the little dragon girl whispered to her brother, "See? Mama's not crying anymore." The human made her smile.